For those of you that are just joining the live stream here, we're doing some Q&A where anyone can ask questions, and I'll probably clip these up into videos and probably post them on the Clips channel. So I guess the next question is, I have aquarium crayfish, and I was wondering, do the crayfish eat other fish in the aquarium? That's a really good question regarding aquarium crayfish, because a lot of people desire to get crayfish because they seem like one of the coolest bottom dwelling or bottom feeders, you could call them. They're complete scavengers, and I find that people are pretty uneducated about keeping aquarium crayfish. There's a lot of things that people don't know, like actually they're nocturnal and prefer to hide during the day, and they need necessary hiding places to hide during the day or they're just not going to be happy. And also, they are known to be notorious escape artists. So if you don't have an aquarium lid, you should plan on finding the aquarium crayfish on your floor one day, because ask me how I know about this, because it's happened to me. Okay, I want to get back to topic. Will your aquarium crayfish eat other fish in your aquarium? That's the question. The short answer to this is yes. Crayfish do eat living fish. They will catch living fish or living moving fish in your aquarium, so the answer to this is yes. But there's a caveat to this, because aquarium crayfish, they're not super skillful when it comes to actually killing the fish. And I know some people are going to argue, hey man, I had a crayfish that went to town on some guppies. But I got to say, with my experience, maybe they, I usually keep them with smaller fish. And that's what I'm going to get to next, is the fish that you keep them with, that is really the answer to this, right? So I want to show you guys what my crayfish tank looks like. It's not the perfect scenario, but I feel like it's pretty good. This is my 6-foot long, 125 gallon aquarium. So this gives the aquarium crayfish a lot of room to move around with. And the key thing with aquarium crayfish is it's not necessarily about the gallons of the aquarium, but the amount of space on the bottom of the floor, the substrate, because that's the only space the aquarium crayfish use. But as I was saying, the best aquarium fish to keep with crayfish, in my opinion, are goldfish and smaller livebearer fish like guppy fish, platyfish, mollyfish. And the reason I like keeping crayfish with these fish is because goldfish, number one, are big and bulky, and I feel like if they get pinched at by the crayfish, it's not necessarily going to hurt them. And as far as the smaller fish like the livebearers, the guppies, the mollies, platies, I like them because even if they do get caught by the crayfish, it's not a huge deal, because live-bearing fish are always giving birth, and you're going to have usually a bunch of them always giving birth, having babies, and it's not the biggest deal. I know that sort of sucks to say, but there's honestly not a good answer to what fish to keep with the crayfish, because they do kill other fish. I gotta say, my favorite crayfish to keep have got to be the electric blue crayfish. That's what I have in the 6-foot 125 gallon. These things are so amazing. They're just this vibrant blue coloration, and if you can't tell how cool they are already, like if you see them in person, it's ridiculous. It seems that when I talk to a lot of fish keepers, these electric blue crayfish seem to die on people, and I think it's because people just aren't taking proper care of them. These guys need to be eating a lot more protein than you think. It's funny, but when one of my fish die here in the house, I feed it to the crayfish. Crayfish need a lot more protein than people think, and like I said, if one of the fish die here in the house, I make sure it sinks down to the substrate, and then you can see the crayfish just immediately come up on it, because in natural habitat, in the wild, that's like the number one source of food for aquarium crayfish. A decaying dead fish. It's got that slime nastiness, and these guys are scavengers. That's what they need. Here people are trying to feed them like fish food. It's like, here, take some tropical flakes, and it's like, that's adequate, but you got to remember, like, these guys are from, like, they need that protein, and also they're nocturnal. This is almost gonna be over, I promise. I have to preach a little bit more. These fish are nocturnal, and you need to give them adequate hiding spots during the day, because they love that and they need it. They're going to be a much healthier crayfish. Alright guys, without further ado, please subscribe to the channel, hit up my main channel, Palmer Aquatics.